What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Yankees Avenue Show on the Yankees Avenue YouTube channel. As usual, I'm Patrick Hennessy. That's Dan Rourke. Dan, how are we doing today?
I'm doing really well, Pat. I'm ready for the second half to begin. I'm chilling with my boy, ready to talk some ball. Yankees adjusted their uniforms. I'm not exactly thrilled about that. We got a new hitting coach. Ohtani's going to be a Yankee. I'm ready to talk some ball, dude. How are you
Yeah,
doing?
no, I'm doing great. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, bro. Most of it is like they're big topics, and you sound like we talk about the uniform changes, bro. We're talking about the uniform changes.
I
We're
know.
talking about Shohei Ohtani coming to New York, and we're talking about the Yankees' new energetic hitting coach. That's what we're talking about.
Let's talk about the Yankees, Pat. I'm ready to talk the Yankees. I feel thrown off. All right. Can I tell the crowd my secret, my medical secret, because I'm quite proud of it? I'm on day 3 of my cold turkey of quitting vaping. So I'm a little bit on edge, but I'm feeling good, bettering my life, Pat. Thoughts?
I'm very
And
proud of
they
you,
say
man.
day 3 is
For
the
for
hardest.
okay,
I'm here
let's
now.
just saying, I respect it, but this is the 20th time I've heard this and maybe the last year.
No,
So
this is actually, I thought this is the second time they've heard this about
what
quitting
about me?
vaping. You maybe 20, but I've never done cold turkey before. I usually am. I'm quite fond of the Nicorette, but I'm not doing that. Cold turkey. This is day 3. I woke up today actually feeling like I had the flu. 4 ibuprofen, though. I'm ready to go.
Great. Great.
Go,
Before we get
go.
into topic number one, want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, FOCO. Use code Yankees Avenue. Save 15% off your order. We'll show you guys some fun stuff later. But before we get into any of that, okay, stop showing off like your baby smooth chest,
Stop.
bro. It makes
Pat,
me uncomfortable.
yeah, you said it like 3 or 4 times before we hit record.
I
I don't
don't believe.
understand. Like, you have chest hair. I don't. I get it, but let me
I know,
be.
but yours is so
I doesn't mean I
smooth.
can't wear.
Whatever.
It doesn't mean I can't wear a robe.
Do you
Am I allowed
moisturize
to
it?
wear a robe?
Do you
Huh?
moisturize?
Yeah, on my face I moisturized, and on my
Not your
chest.
chest.
No. I did
It
shave
looks really
yesterday
smooth.
though. Can
Oh,
we
you
talk some
shaved your
ball, bro?
chest.
Stop talking about my chest. No, I
Okay.
don't.
No,
There's
no,
nothing
fine.
to shave.
No, it's fine. Topic number one. Dan, let's talk about the Yankees' new uniforms. They announced that they've partnered with Starr Insurance. They now have a patch on their jerseys, similar to how many other MLB teams do. It says Starr Insurance right there on the sleeve, starting on July 21st. And they agreed to a $25 million a year deal. So I think this is like an 8-year deal. So at the end of it all, I think the total is like 250 or something dumb. I'm not gonna lie, when they announced it, I wanted to vomit just because like this is the exact what? Are you calculating the math, dude?
Yeah, no, I do want to check it out now, but please go on.
The point is the Yankees now have patches on their uniforms, and I have to admit I'm completely disgusted, bro, because it goes back to the thing that I say all the time, where it feels like the Yankees pick and choose where quote unquote tradition matters, right? When it comes to, I mean, we heard a Hal Steinbrenner interview a couple weeks ago. We're never lifting the facial hair policy. We're never having names on the back of uniforms for tradition. But apparently, abandoning tradition is fine when money talks, bro. Right. And obviously, the Yankees got a lot of money from Star Insurance. First of all, never even heard of Starr Insurance. I don't know where they're
That's
getting this
a
money
bad
from.
thing, dude.
Dude, absolutely insane. But listen, I think I'm not sure on the answer to this question, but I think my philosophy on it changed a little bit. If this is something that all MLB teams have to do, right? Like if there's a mandate where all MLB teams need to have a sponsor on their uniform, then my idea changes. I don't know if that's true or not. But as of right now, I'm completely disgusted with the Yankees' new uniform change. And it's not one of those things where I could see myself getting over anytime soon because anytime I see that patch on the jersey, I'm going to be reminded that, like, yo, the Yankees sold out their uniforms just for the sake of money that isn't even going to be utilized properly, right? Like, this money isn't going towards Shohei Ohtani. This money isn't going towards Juan Soto. It just feels like it's going in the pockets of Hal Steinbrenner.
Well, that's the only positive thing is you'd have to hope it does go towards. I mean, that's the numbers we laid out. It's like an exact big free agent deal. So you would hope it goes towards getting better players. But you know, dude, I agree with a lot of what you said. It's a big thing is the Yankees, I know people say like, oh, we hold ourselves to a standard, but it's not really like that. Regardless of how you feel, the Yankees always have acted different. And whether that's no names in the back, whether that's no alternate jerseys. I mean, even just a couple of weeks ago, Steinbrenner saying on the K show how they're not really looking to do a City Connect. I think that's cool. Like, you are the Yankees, you are different. Well, every other team is doing it. I did have hope. Like, I was holding out hope that they wouldn't add this, and especially it being, Starr Insurance, man. Starr Insurance. At least it blends in, but I'm just thinking it's on the left side now, the jersey. So every Aaron Judge home run that we see for the rest
Well,
of his career, we're going to see some gross ass patch. The one name on the jersey, the one name is going to be Starr. No other names but Starr. on the left
Well,
side.
the thing
I think it's
is,
gross, dude. It's
with the
gross.
patches, I think how it goes is like it's on the dominant arm of the player. So like on Rizzo, it'll be on his right shoulder.
Okay. That's
So it,
terrible too,
I
bro.
know it's worse
That's
actually. So
terrible. That's
yeah,
listen, I mean, only thing I am like actually curious about is apparently they had a higher offer in the 30 millions that they didn't take. What do you think that company may have been?
can I
Because
be
that's
honest?
what's interesting to me is the companies that were bidding. Because I've thought about this before. Because in part I was expecting this. We both were. We knew in a way it was coming or it could be coming. I was hoping that at least would be something cool, like
Yeah,
a brand that's. And also, I want to mention this. People bring up, oh, well, the Nike logo, you got over that, dude. I was never bothered by the Nike logo to begin with. The Nike
same.
logo in sports, at least, just blends in. I actually think it looks fine. Like I was celebrating when Nike put the
I
logo
think
on.
it looks cool.
Yeah, I thought it looks fine, and still to this day, it looks great. This though, I don't think it's something. Well, yes, I have to get over, but like I will notice it. Starr
Yeah,
Insurance on the New York Yankees jersey.
yeah. Can I answer your question as to what I thought the higher offer was?
Yeah, Bang Bros.
OnlyFans. What'd you say?
Bang Bros. That's what everybody always goes to, and they assume like because they made an offer for the stadium. What stadium was that? That like Bang Bros try to
They
buy was
did.
the somewhere in
Was it the
LA
Miami Heat?
or maybe it was Miami. I don't know. But
Maybe.
one another thing that bothers me too, just about the uniform is like one of the things I cherish so much. You know how I am about like the Yankees history and all that. Like I am an old head with it. You look back at a picture of Mickey Mantle or Babe Ruth for the most part. Like you go back and you see a picture of an old Yankee, no matter what the era is, the uniform looks the same. You can see the pinstripes, you can see the Yankee logo, you have the Yankee hat, and it's like, dude, that's the same. We're still the New York Yankees, and like those little things I'm able to hold on to. Like, oh no, like this organization's still special. Some little things never change, but just it's weird because it's not that big a deal. It's a patch. A lot of other teams are doing it. Almost every team's gonna have it. Maybe they all do now. I don't know. But the Yankees aren't supposed to be every other team, which is why it's a little like, come on.
No, and yeah, and that's why like I look at it and like, bro, I agree on the patch thing just because like when I think of like something additional on the Yankee uniform, like it's significant to me, right? Like I'll always remember like 2016, 2017, like they had the 8 for Yogi Berra, right?
Yeah.
Or it's like they'll have the 5 when who was 5? Joe DiMaggio?
Yeah. And also
I'm
they'll
gonna
have
get roasted for that.
no,
But
I
like you
don't
know
have
what I mean? And then like in certain postseasons, they'll have like the
black
each
armband.
postseason has like their specific postseason patch. And like
Yeah.
that stuff is cool to me. And then when like I see a picture of like the 2018 postseason, I know that's the 2018 postseason, bro. Now the fact that like we're gonna have the Starr Insurance patch on every single uniform. The only thing that's gonna click in my mind is like, oh, that picture's from 2023 or later. And it's so frustrating. And going back to what you said about like tradition, bro, like that's exactly my thing. And you know, like I'm kind of like a new head when it comes to this stuff. Like I'm all for like changing stuff and whatever. But like the fact that even I'm pissed off about this, it has to go. It goes to show like the Yankees just clearly don't understand their audience, or they just don't care. I think they don't care because it's putting money in their pockets and they think that this is a good thing for them long term. But as far as like the Yankee tradition holding ourselves to a different standard, like bro, if you're gonna put patches on the uniforms, get rid of the facial hair policy, right? Like have a City Connect uniform because now there's nothing that I don't know what about like the Yankee presentation. I don't know what about us rather than the history of the franchise. Nothing about the current day Yankee product is different from any other baseball team. The only thing different is no names on the back of the jerseys. And I'm still not down for that. But I think at this point, bro, tradition is kind of thrown out the window. And I wouldn't feel half as mad if they abandoned the facial hair policy as they are like doing this.
Well, no,
And
I
bro,
wouldn't.
wait,
I don't
one
think
more point on that. Can I just make one more point?
yes.
I think the only reason they haven't lifted the facial hair policy is because there's no way to monetize that. Like
Exactly.
the only reason they did this is because they're able to monetize it.
Right. No, I don't think you exactly throw out the history because of that. Because yeah, there's no way to like gain money from doing that. Whereas the City Connect, now I'm with you on that point. Like now that you're doing this with the patch, sure, get a City
You
Connect.
have
That's
to.
yeah, because I mean that's the money you make off that might even be more than the patch. I don't know. Dude, the picture thing is a big part of it. Every single shot now, the next big Yankee moment is gonna have that
Thank
Star
God Judge hit
Insurance patch,
62
dude.
last year.
I'm honestly more just bummed with and first I'll say I think if George were alive, he would have done it too. Because
Probably.
it's a good little chunk of money. Although I thought it would have been more. When I saw the 25 number,
So did I.
I was expecting like
I was
50
thinking
million or
500.
something. Yeah, I guess it would be something crazy. Anyways, yeah, I think George would have done it too. I'm more so mad at the fact that this ever happened in sports. I guess it started off with soccer. I wish MLB never allowed it. But why wouldn't they allow it? Because it's like in a way it makes sense. I'm bothered by it so much, and I'm a capitalist. I am like I love make your money. That's great, but it's so there and out there on like
it's being shoved down our throats, bro. And like that's where I kind of draw the line, right? Like I don't care about stuff.
bummer.
Like if I mean, all I know is that Starr Insurance Stadium's coming soon, dude. That's all
No,
I'm saying.
that better
That's
not
all I'm
happen.
saying.
No, that better
Or
not happen.
or
Absolutely
Yankee
not.
Stadium sponsored by Starr Insurance.
No, no. And honestly, as bad as it is, I'm rooting against Starr Insurance now. I'll
I
never
don't
get
know who they
Starr
are.
Insurance.
And you
I
know
want
what?
nothing to
They
do with them.
you know how on Twitter, like they give you like people to follow? I guess since I've tweeted about them so much, Starr Insurance is now on my people to follow. I blocked them.
Block Starr Insurance.
I blocked Starr Insurance.
Good. No, I
Yeah.
respect that.
I don't want anything to do with
And
it.
it's totally opposite of how I am. I mean, if those Poland Spring water bottles with the Yankee logo on it,
Yes.
like I'll always get those. So it's a little bit different with this. I feel like it's being forced down my throat, so I want nothing to
One
do.
time I bought the Yankee beer. It was really bad.
What was it, like a Bud Light or something? I don't drink beer.
It
I would
tasted
never
like
drink
Bud
beer.
Light. I don't really like beer either. I just bought it because it looked cool, but it was
Yeah.
bad. But yeah, the Yankees have new uniforms. We're not happy about it, but what are you gonna do at the
Dude,
end of
it
the day,
sucks.
bro?
I feel like it's like I hate the fact that we just gotta like move on to the next topic because this sucks. It really, really
No, it
does.
sucks, but like
But
there's
it's
nothing
something
to
we
do.
have to just exactly. We just got to get over it. This is it
Yeah.
now, and whatever.
Story of my life, right?
Right? Story of being a Yankee fan since freaking 20.
Yeah, like bro, I don't like doing this show with you, but I do it anyway. Like, because what am I gonna do, right?
Pat, I had to record 30 minutes late today, and you were devastated when you found that out because you wanted to see me soon as possible.
I said, damn, okay.
I will say Mondays and Thursdays, which is the days that we record this typically, might be a top like 2-3 days of my week.
No, these are great. Like, and
purpose.
bro,
Like,
I
do
think
look
people in the
forward to it.
comments can even like vouch. Like, I see so many people. Oh, it's always a great day when the Yankees Avenue Show drops. Oh, I'm watching at lunch. I love you. I love you with all
Well, it
my
didn't
heart.
sound like you love them with that voice you just made. That's the voice you make usually when you're trolling me, and you just use it to describe the people watching at home.
That's just
Are you seeing Barbie next week?
no.
You're not going to do that double feature. I was reading about it in today's New
Barbie,
York Post.
Oppenheimer.
Oh, I'll be seeing Oppenheimer for sure. It's a 3-hour
What
long
even is that?
flick. It's the story about how the atomic bomb was made for Hiroshima. And then Barbie is about the plastic doll and her boyfriend Ken.
I saw John Cena is in it.
Really? I'm not a fan, honestly, of the WWE people turned actors. Like The Rock, although I actually didn't hate Black Adam as much as many people did. I'm not a huge fan of The Rock. I'm just
I don't know
saying.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, because you're not caught up in the world of cinema, dude. That's my second world usually, is that it goes like Yankees, Elvis, then movies. Continue. What's the next topic?
Topic number 2, Dan. Buster only reported on Thursday that the Yankees are the quote-unquote favorites to trade for Shohei Ohtani if he's made available by the Angels. But also keep in mind, I'm pretty sure Artie Moreno said there's no chance he's dealing him. Listen, we all know whatever happens, happens. Are you buying into this at all?
Am I buying into it? I think it was ridiculous. Now, I actually want to play the sound of it real quick because I want to jog my memory. But what, dude? I want to play it because it was pretty blasphemous. Here we go. Can you hear this? I hope you can.
If Ohtani is traded before the deadline, what teams would be most likely to go after him?
Well, you start with the Yankees, the Yankees, the Yankees, the Yankees, the Rangers, the Rays. Maybe a small handful of teams, but there's no doubt. You talked with sources yesterday. They see the Yankees as potentially being the most motivated because Garrett Cole, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, they're middle-aged players right in the prime of their careers. This is the Yankees' window to win now.
That's enough from that, dude. Okay, I think this is classic ESPN modern way of covering baseball. I'm not going to lead the show with this for this reason. Can you tell how clickbaity that entire thing is? What did Buster only tell us there? All he gave was an opinion that Shohei Ohtani would make the Yankees better. All he did was state facts that you have Garrett Cole, you have Aaron Judge, you have Giancarlo Stanton, who are in the prime of their careers. And that is true. They're in a window to where you would want him. And obviously I would want him. There's no world, I don't think. I'm like positive at the Angels. There's no way they trade Ohtani. Not happening. Now, if they were, I'll speak on this real quick. People that want to hear my thoughts. If they were, I'd be willing to give up everything but Volpe. Volpe's my shortstop, but I don't want to give him, especially if you don't know Ohtani's coming back. I'm not giving away everything. Everything but Volpe, though, I would. Jason's on the table. Peraza's on the table. Spencer Jones, probably the one case where he's on the table. You give up everything possible to get Ohtani, but he's just not going to be available. So you look towards free agency.
I agree. I think that report from Buster Olney was complete bullshit. I think
Kind
it
of
was
annoying.
complete made up. And I think it just kind of goes to show like the current state of sports media. It's like Buster Olney's talking about the trade deadline, and he said he thinks that the Yankees are the favorites to trade for Ohtani. Bro, people ran with this. Like someone just tweeted out, "Oh, Ohtani to the Yankees is imminent." It's absolutely insane how people
I
took
know.
this and ran. This is nothing more than Buster Olney's opinion, right? There's no sources that back this up. There's no inside information that backs this up. There's not anything besides the fact that Buster Olney thinks the Yankees should trade for Shohei Ohtani, as every
Right.
other team should. There's nothing new here. There's nothing riveting here. Me and you could say the same exact thing. The only problem is we're not on ESPN, so it wouldn't get the same traction, right?
Yep.
But I think the Ohtani trade scenarios become very complicated because it's like while we would give up everything besides Volpe for Ohtani, which I would even consider giving up Volpe for Ohtani. I don't
Fair.
know.
I just wouldn't. I wouldn't.
I think it becomes very tricky because the only way I would completely gut the farm system for potentially 2 months of Shohei Ohtani is if I know for a fact he's my final piece, right? Like you get Shohei Ohtani and your team is complete from top to bottom, and you think you're in the best chance to win a World Series this year. I think even if you trade Ohtani with a healthy Judge, I don't know if he's the Yankees' final piece. You know what I mean? Like I still feel like they're not necessarily a complete team. So you would be gutting the farm system and you might not win a World Series this year just because like your team wouldn't be complete. So I think it would be very tricky, but I would definitely put a package together to acquire him because, bro, like you would have to, but I don't know if I'd gut the whole farm.
Well, part of the issue too would be that if he is available, let's just say he is, there will be a team that puts together something insanely crazy that the Yankees just wouldn't match. I mean, the Yankees have been smart with a lot of their trades, and a lot of the ones they have made have technically been good deals. They just haven't worked out, so they look like bad deals, which is fair. But they don't really ever go the extra mile. They're not going to be like the top number one package, most likely for Shohei Ohtani. It just probably isn't going to happen. He's so good of a player to where you do just make it work if you could. With that said, though, what's the situation? I mean, when he doesn't pitch, he DHs. Stanton's not an everyday outfielder right now. I mean, maybe he's so good to where you just force that situation that it has to happen. Like, okay, Giancarlo, you're playing right field every single day, which, hey, fine. But it's risky. No, it definitely is risky for sure. He's too good of a player to where I would do it and just make it work. But also, I thought you were going to say, get him with the understanding that he's going to sign long-term here. Because the bigger concern to most people would be, dude, you're gutting the whole farm for 2 months. I trust the Yankees would be able to get a deal done. But if you were to tell me like you're only getting for 2 months, then he's gone. Like, no, absolutely not. I would like to think you could get a deal done though.
Yeah.
But you'd have to have a conversation with him beforehand, probably.
I think that becomes very scary, right? Because I'm gonna be honest, like I don't see Ohtani coming to the East Coast. Like I don't see him signing here long term. Like if I'm looking at it's really early to look at the Ohtani sweepstakes, but I think the Dodgers are like a clear favorite.
Well, they've prepped for this, dude. That's why they didn't have a big offseason last year. They've been prepping for Ohtani, and he wants to stay probably West Coast.
I'd be shocked if he didn't go to the Dodgers. But listen, we'd love to have him in New York. Like, bro, we wanted him in 2018. And obviously that didn't work out, but who knows? Maybe he falls in our lap. I doubt it. But all I'm saying is this kind of ties back to topic number one. Like, if Ohtani's a free agent this year and he's like, yo, I'm only going to the East Coast. Like, if you give me an extra like $10 million a year, there's no reason money should hold the Yankees back from literally anything now, right? Like you just got $250 million from Starr Insurance. Like you should be fully in on Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani and every single major free agent that pops up. I don't want to see you passing up on Manny Machado. I don't want to see you passing up on Bryce Harper. I don't want to see you passing up on Corey Seager like we did in years past just for the sake of money. So now give Ohtani a blank check. Give every single top free agent a blank check because we got the cash now, bro. I don't want to see it pocketed.
All right, yeah. I mean, just on the topic of Ohtani, I think the Yankees will be in on him free agency wise. They've wanted him, like you said, since 2018. And I do think, once again, if he were made available, they would be all in on this year too. I mean, I can't even, the more and more he goes deep, bro, and just plays well, like I really can't imagine what the contract would be. Like, could I actually see, like, I know the Yankees will be in on him. Like, there's no way it's a situation they had like with Bryce Harper a few years ago where they didn't even negotiate. I don't even think they met.
They didn't give him a conversation, which is psychotic, but
it's unbelievable, ridiculous. But for Ohtani, they absolutely will. They'll meet with him, and I feel like they'll probably be in the top 3. But I wonder, what is that final dollar going to be, dude? Because like he's headed for $600 million right now.
I don't think he gets traded But I guess we'll see in the
No,
offseason what
he's
happens.
not getting
but,
traded. That
yeah,
to me is like concrete firm.
I
Doesn't mean
agree.
he won't ever be a Yankee. It'll just come down to this offseason, like what happens.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yo, before we get into topic number 3, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, FOCO. They've been powering the Yankees Avenue show for a while now. If you haven't checked them out, be sure to check them out. Code Yankees Avenue at checkout, save 15% off your order. Bro, I'm not sure if they still have these All-Star bobbleheads, but if they do, go buy them. I mean, there was only 144 available, so I doubt they'd even be available now. But you get this cool Judge pin. They got like so many cool Yankee stuff. We're gonna do another episode in the shirt soon.
Yeah, we should do that on Monday because it's back. I'm gonna
I'm down.
Down the shore. Actually, no. Well, I'm going to Atlantic City Monday and Tuesday, and I'm trying to think, will I be doing a remote Yankees Avenue show? That'd be interesting.
Will you?
Possibly. I don't know. But yo, my robe from Foco, you guys know the deal. You know what's up. I think it's the nicest in the game. You should get yourself one. That wall art, it's dope. Let me go grab a hat real quick.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Whoa, what's that supposed to be, punk? You ain't got one of these. You ain't got
Yes,
one
I
of these,
do.
Pat. No, you don't. Prove it. Where's
Yes,
the
I
hat?
do.
Where's your hat, Pat? Yeah, please. This is my hat. You guys can get one. I ain't gonna put it on. I did just shower, but look at that play bum back there. Look how nice and shiny she looks. I love y'all. Oh,
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
I wanted. Oh, I thought yours had a ring around it. It was just the lighting.
No.
Cody Yankees Avenue, 15% off Foco. Get yourself decked out because we got quite a second half. How about the Colorado Rockies, huh? I guess we'll talk about that in a
That's
couple
not what we're talking about right now.
Well, it wasn't supposed to be a transition. I just am
okay.
thinking Colorado Rockies tonight, Friday night.
Okay.
Can
we get into topic number 3?
You have my permission granted.
Great. Thank you. Topic number 3, Dan, let's talk about how it made me uncomfortable. See, I don't like
everything's making you uncomfortable. Please continue. I'm not saying nothing.
So last episode, we talked about the Yankees firing Dylan Lawson. An hour after the episode came out, they hired MLB Network analyst and he played maybe 10, 12 seasons. I don't know. Sean Casey.
12 seasons, career 302 hitter, dude, or 312 hitter.
Sean Casey, absolute dog. If you listen to his interviews and close your eyes, you might think it's Nick Swisher. He has a very bombacious personality. Is that a word? If so, that's a really good word, bro. He's a bombacious personality. He's out there. He's basically like Nick Swisher. And everything that we've heard from him so far, I really, really like. He's all about winning. He said, if the Yankees don't win a World Series, it's a failure. Just stuff that we've never even heard from Aaron Boone. We're hearing from Sean Casey, so it's very nice to see. Are you trying to get a quote from the newspaper?
Yeah, actually, I just decided I am. Because there was a quote I liked, and I realized I can just get it from today's paper in print.
Okay, well, I could probably find it on Twitter in half the time.
Well, at first that's what I was gonna do, but no, I had it right here because it was here. So I just, speaking of what you're talking about with the Swisher personality, I like some of these quotes, dude. Here's what he says: I think I have to come in hot and firing. If I'm hiring me, if I'm Brian Cashman, if I'm Hal Steinbrenner, I want to bring in somebody right now that could come in and make an impact. You're right. There are 70 games left, and we got to get going. I'm not crazy enough to think that I'm going to come in and all of a sudden all 9 guys are going to start hitting. But I think collectively as a team, every guy's got to look at themselves and say, what do I need to get going? What do I need to get hot? We're going to figure out how to get these guys going as a unit. We've got a 70-game sprint, and we're going to be ready for it. And if you listen to the actual interview, you hear the tone in his voice, it gets you fired up. And he's a big leaguer. I checked, career 302 hitter in 12 big league seasons. He's friends with Boone. They were teammates 98 to 2003, former roommates. Obviously was on MLB Network as an analyst. So he is and he was talking about it, being at the network kind of got him a little more acclimated with modern day analytics. So he's coming in with an old school approach, which is the thing I'm the most happy about, that we're getting a legit big league player, old school approach. However, with that said, he's not totally out of touch with the new analytics, the new style of baseball. I think a blend is the perfect way to go. A blend that probably, leans towards the old fashioned way of doing things, which could be, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited about it. Also, just from the notion of, and we talked about this a little bit last week, that the old school guys in the Yankee front office, whether that's Omar Minaya or Brian Sabian or that kind of that side of the crew, they won in this argument. Dylan Lawson, that's kind of as an analyst that you get. Dude didn't play. It's a lot of it is about the numbers and the modern day launch angle, which has its value. But that side of the Yankees front office, they lost. It was you know what I'm saying?
Sure. No, I know exactly what you mean.
Thought process that maybe we're kind of getting to the end of the light at the end of the tunnel here.
Yeah, and I think it's very interesting and it's very like un-Yankee like to bring on a guy like Sean Casey mid-season, right? And I think that also kind of goes to show like they didn't necessarily think that Lawson was the issue as much as it was a leadership issue in the Yankees clubhouse and more of like a poor coaching style or maybe just bad team chemistry because I think Casey provides more value with his clubhouse presence maybe than he even does with his hitting coach style. And I think he's just going to be a nice breath of fresh air in that clubhouse. And yeah, I'm just very interested to see someone like if I had to guess when they fired Lawson, I would have thought that they were going to go like internally and just
Yeah.
get like a Lawson clone, right? Like maybe bring up the AAA hitting coach or something like that. But the fact that they went out there and they got Sean Casey, someone who I wouldn't even think that they would go out and get in an off season, but the fact that they replace him mid-season with Casey, I'm very excited. And like you said, everything we heard from him so far has been excellent, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing what he provides.
Yeah, also too, speaking of getting him in the offseason, they actually tried. They tried to get him this past offseason, but I guess his wife was going through some treatment for something he just couldn't at the time. But they tried to get him this past offseason, so they've had their eyes on him. What's really interesting is Dylan Lawson's philosophy was like that set the tone for the entire organization's philosophy, and he was kind of at the head of all that as the minor league hitting coordinator, and then he went to being the big league hitting coach. But Sean Casey's now like he's like the aberration in the group. He's the one that's different. So I'm just curious, like, does this change the whole? Which the minor leagues is hitting well. Besides Jason Dominguez, the minor leagues is hitting well. So it's just like it's going to be interesting to see what they do, like as a whole, as a unit. But no, I'm excited with this whole thing. I'm
Yeah, no,
as
it's all
excited as
good.
I could be for like a hitting coach. I'm at like a 10.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think because this is only like a contract for the remainder of this year,
Yeah,
do you think he stays? Do you think they extend him after this season?
I do. I do. Because part of it can only go up from here. So I feel like he can't look bad in this role because we know how bad this lineup has looked. So any sign of improvement looks good on his part. And also, like, I'd buy in right now. So I'm going to assume it's going to work out well, hopefully. And then, yeah, why wouldn't you bring him back?
I agree. I really hope he works out. My only gripe is that I kind of wish like the Yankees had a manager with this type of personality, but I think it's a lot safer to go with like the hitting coach being this fiery. Because if anything, like bro, easy boot. You know what I mean? It's not as easy to boot a manager, but I think he just provides that personality and that attitude that the Yankees have been missing for a while, bro. Like
Yeah.
when was the last time we heard someone say like if they don't win the World Series, it's a failure? You know what I mean? And it's just
Well,
like,
say it and feel like it actually is coming from their blood and
but
like it
that's what I'm
means something,
saying.
not just
Like,
some throwaway tagline.
and very passionate about winning the like it feels like if we do hear that from Cashman or Hal, like it just feels like it's because it's been like stamped in their brain. They don't truly mean it. But it's very evident when you listen to Sean Casey and just his his raw energy. He's here to win a World Series. And it just, bro, it breeds fire into me. And
Which
I'm very, very excited.
could really play, dude. I mean, I don't honestly think having Aaron Boone be as level-headed as it is like a bad thing. I mean, having Casey now on the bench, that's probably the most fiery dude we've had since Phil Nevin, which he was such a bad third base coach that it was.
I would say he's more fiery than Phil Nevin.
No, for sure, absolutely, like
Yeah.
probably times 2, times 3, and it's a I mean, not that Phil Nevin's not likable, but it's different. It's a very. I'm not on the team, and I wanted to run through a wall, listen to Sean Casey talk about the offense, and he was saying how you should have expectations. Like everything he said was great. It really, really is.
And
Likable dude.
maybe,
That's the main difference here. Dylan Lawson was not a likable dude. I'm sorry, he just wasn't.
I
And
never
talking
heard
about
him
the chemistry thing. He had that one interview which was horrible with the cookie cutter answers, like ridiculous shit. But you talk about the chemistry. I mean, dude, that's something as simple as, dude, Dylan Lawson never was in the big leagues. There's a relatability side of it. I mean, even to a certain degree, you can't be on the same level of like locker room talk as other big leaguers when you haven't been in that status. It's like a thing of respect.
Yeah.
The fact that you have now Sean Casey, I think could change the whole dynamic of the offense, dude. I really do.
Let me say, like, I think Josh Donaldson's leash has to be a little bit longer now because I kind of want to see like if any changes are made with Sean Casey, bro. Maybe Sean Casey completely fixes Josh Donaldson. Maybe that ship has sailed, but I'm a little bit intrigued. Like I'm intrigued to see how every hitter in the Yankees lineup changes as a result of Casey's approach.
Yeah, and he said he's talked to them all. He hit up Judge first, Bader, Volpe, Donaldson, Rizzo. He's talked to them all. Yeah. I still think Donaldson's leash is the same as I've been saying through July. Come the trade deadline, there'll be a move that will require him being DFA'd. What are you doing? What's topic
Okay.
number 4, by the way? I don't even remember. Oh, we're talking
Yeah,
about
topic
second
number
half.
4. Let's talk about the second half a little bit because the Yankees' second half of the season starts up tonight, bro. It's kind of wild to think we're in the middle of
I
July
know.
already. It feels like the season just started, but starting the second half, in Colorado, I think this is a massive half for the Yankees, right? Like it feels weird because last season we came into the second half kind of already knowing we have a postseason spot. I think as of right now, the Yankees are 1 game back of a wild card position and 7 back of the division, if I'm not mistaken. And bro, I think Fangraphs has them at like a 55% chance of making the playoffs, which obviously doesn't really mean much. It's just bulletin board material, and not ideal for this point in the season. But what are our expectations for the Yankees going into the second half?
Pretty much the same thing I've been saying. I believe that they are, for all their troubles, in a pretty good spot, actually, just being 1 game out, 49 and 42. They're in a situation, as bad as it is, it's really not that bad. And then if they just play well from this point forward, which, yes, is a big ass of the current squad, and I was feeling a lot worse probably an hour before hearing the news of Dylan Lawson getting fired. Like, I was down on this team after that Chicago series. That was rough. But very quickly, things can change. Now I have all this hype about you have Sean Casey in, and you have the trade deadline coming up. Said it last week, I'll say it again. The Yankees making that move means absolutely nothing unless they upgrade the actual team. And that's something I expect them to do. So with that said, you go out and get, whether it's a Cody Bellinger, Heimer Candelario, you need at least two impact bats at the minimum. Now, you can also dream maybe of a Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani, whatever. But at the very minimum, you need 2 impact bats to improve the lineup. And then I would also add a couple arms. You do that and get Rizzo going and you get Stanton going because those are the 2 that need to hit because they're going to be here no matter what. Rizzo's your first baseman and Stanton's a key part of this team. And I'm not worried about him. And he had been hitting better anyways. But you have those 2 right. You make a move or 2 to increase the lineup, improve the lineup, solidify the best pitching staff in the American League. There's no threat that scares me. In the AL, at least. The Braves concern me, but if you get to the World Series, we can deal with them then. There's nobody in the American League right now, and this is why you have to be all in. There's nobody in the American League that's a clear and obvious threat that's going to stop you. Not Houston, not even Tampa Bay. They're 500 since the start of June. The Yankees have to understand, and they do, and I know this for a fact, they're going to have a deadline because they do recognize this. The window is still there. They can get things right like that because they haven't sank in their season. They haven't. 49 and 42, it's still right there in front of them.
Yeah. I definitely think that like while we're very low on this team coming out of the first half, I think the window is still wide open, right? And the Yankees kind of control their own destiny. The American League isn't like years past where there were complete juggernauts that were like, oh no, I don't want to face them in the postseason. Obviously, Houston is always going to be that team for us, even if they're under 500.
Sure.
Like they're always going to scare us a little bit just because they have our number, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, bro, like going into a postseason series, like no team really scares me too much. I would say after Houston, maybe Toronto. And that's not even really saying much, right? Because I think that their pitching staff is very hittable, but I still wouldn't want to face Toronto in a postseason series.
I still say the Rays, but that's not saying much in my opinion. You know,
sure. No, I get what you mean 1,000%. But yeah, I think the second half of the season, it just really it stems from 2 things, right? One, the current players on the Yankees playing up to their potential. So guys like Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, Bader stay healthy, Judge come back healthy, stay healthy, hopefully at 100%. Rodon stay healthy, Nestor come back. Like the Yankees need their complete team to perform up to their potential and stay healthy. And also you need to make the additions because I think even this team at full health, full strength, I don't think they'll win the World Series. I think you need to bring in reinforcements. You need a left fielder. I'd like a third baseman. That's kind of just like a bonus, but I think I would also like a reliever, maybe a starting pitcher. Just like, bro, see who's on the market and see what you can do to improve this team. Because I think just about every aspect of the Yankees can be improved right now. And yeah, bro, I just think that like going in the second half, I'm kind of viewing it with like a fresh slate. Like I think that the Yankees control their own destiny. And if they want to just suck out and they just lose every game from now on, like, yeah, they'll miss the postseason. But I think while they control their destiny in that case, like they also control it in the way of, bro, you start winning ball games, you go on like a 10-game win streak, you're easily making the postseason, and then anything happens from there. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but I'm viewing it with a very open mind.
I think you put it perfectly. No, it's a clean slate for the second half. And speaking of, dude, getting started in Colorado, I just want to point this out because if there's a series to feel good about the offense, maybe this is a concern because you can't get that excited because you're in Coors Field. It's this one. Come out with a bang. The Rockies are not good. They're like the only team in the NLS that's not good. I mean, the Padres too, but you know what I mean. Get off strong against the Rockies. Only fucking blemish here, dude. What did I say I wanted last week? What did I say I wanted? Rodon and Cole to pitch back-to-back, and they're not.
Oh,
Rodon's
okay.
pitching game 1 on Friday. Schmidt game 2 on Saturday. Cole on Sunday. But, dude, just get off to a good start, and especially these next 2 weeks, you have to play well. Because you play well, get to at least 10 games over 500 by the trade deadline, you get a left field, you get a third baseman, and supplement the bullpen or whatever.
Yeah.
We can feel really good about this team, and that's just how baseball works.
Speaking of Garrett Cole,
What are
let's
you
get into
thumbing
topic
me
number
up for?
5. What?
What are you thumbing me up for? Is this supposed to have an underlying meaning, Pat?
No, it's saying I agree, Dan.
What's topic 5?
Do you not want me to do that?
I don't care. You can give thumbs up.
Okay.
I'm not complaining about a thumbs up.
Yo, if you're watching right now, comment a thumbs up emoji.
Oh, that's how we know
good.
like our OGs.
No, that's how you know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into topic number 5. We're coming off All-Star week. I'm gonna be honest, like I watched all the festivities. I wasn't that impressed. I would say it was one of the most lackluster All-Star weeks in quite a while. The home run derby, bro, they need to go back to the old format with the outs and the swings, the time stuff. It just isn't it.
You can't broadcast
also,
it. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the All-Star game itself was one of the worst All-Star games of my lifetime. It lacked significant star power. There was no Mike Trout. There was no Aaron Judge. Bro, listen, Elias Diaz, cool. But like the fact that he's winning All-Star game MVP, I don't think it's the best thing for the sport. All I know is I used it as like background noise. I was bored watching it.
Yeah.
But huge shout to Garrett Cole. He started the All-Star game. Bro, I don't know if you saw his little interview on the red carpet. He's a great guy. Also, his conversation with Jeter, Poppy, and A-Rod talking about like how he'd pitch them and stuff. It's so nice to see Garrett Cole just like loving life. He seems like he's just in a great place right now, and obviously it's showing on the mound. And I'm so happy that like he was able to represent the Yankees. And it's one of the things he said in his interview, right? Because they asked him, they were like, Garrett, like, how does it feel to be starting the All-Star game for the first time? He's like, I'm just so happy to be here. It's something I dreamed about as a kid. And I'm just happy to be representing the New York Yankees. And bro, the fact that like he said that, like, it makes me feel very, very good. And it's also funny because
you're
like,
really a Cole guy, bro, and I respect.
No,
like,
and
like,
it's
you
crazy.
love Cole. He's like kind of your judge in a way.
I agree 1,000%. And I've always loved him. But I think this season kind of like put me over the bump. You know what I mean? Just because like with Judge out too, it kind of made me like gravitate towards Cole's being like, yo, when we need it. And I know it's like pitching, offense, 2 different things. But when we needed
now.
Like, yeah, sure. But when we needed someone to step up and kind of like take control of the New York Yankees, Garrett Cole was here. And he's missed like 1 start in his entire Yankees career. I love him. And I'm not turning this whole topic into him, but All-Star Week was basically the Garrett Cole show if you're a Yankee fan.
Yeah, and he had like an early 2000s NBA draft suit on. Did you see how
so funny,
enormous
bro.
that thing was?
So funny.
I think it plays in absolutely perfectly to everything we've been talking about this year.
I agree.
He's embracing the dad side of him. And dude, just speaking of that word, embracing, I think he's finally, I mean, it's been the case, but especially with last year's postseason and the regular season he's had, he's like settled into being a Yankee. And I think he takes comfort in the fact of knowing like, all right, because, as good as he was his first couple of years, and we know that, there was like speculation over, okay, do the Yankees regret this contract? Is this dumb of the Yankees to have done this deal? Has Garrett Cole been a bust? That you don't really hear anything about anymore over the last, and pretty recently too, when that was going on. I mean, the regular season he had last year, well documented, wasn't amazing, like a 3.5 ERA. But since that postseason and the season he's having so far this year, like it's cemented. Like, dude, we got an absolute dog.
Yeah.
And it seems like now finally most people are realizing that. Another All-Star appearance, and that first inning was pretty hilarious. I mean, shout out to him too, because he was just throwing fastballs. I mean, like I think he recognized his role perfectly. Like, listen, like I don't have to prove anything. I'm just chucking fastballs, get action.
Well, you said it's like a bullpen day.
Yeah, no, exactly. And what did he say too? He was like, it's the most adrenaline ever for a bullpen day, was in his Cole way, which was funny. And then kind of got hit around a little bit, but a 1-2-3 first inning, good for him. Outside of that though, Pat, background noise, didn't really watch much of it at all. I thought it was funny when Freddie and Mookie were mic'd up.
Yeah.
I think I saw that live, but
see, that's when I like player, like, bro, if like it was cool because they had like a player mic'd up each inning, and it's the All-Star game, right? Like it's meant to have fun. So I love mic'd up stuff.
I think that works I think that works when you're doing it together. Like the little moment, like when Mookie had said, like, he was like, "Hey, Fredder," like that was hilarious. Dude. Like that shit got me laughing out loud. Like the little banter when the players talk to each other, I think that's cool. Even a little bit of Evaldi with Corbin Carroll, little bits of that were like okay. Last year, Nestor and Trevino, like that, I think
it
is
was awesome.
cool.
The Nestor Trevino stuff was awesome.
Yeah. Which I remember actually speaking of, I think I may have told you this. I didn't see that till like 6 months after it happened. Nestor and Trevino thing. Like I don't care for that shit, so I didn't like actually watch it until I think maybe we talked about it. Anyways, but it was cool and stuff like that. I think is cool. I think the game has gotten a little stale though, and being on the West Coast in the fucking daylight absolutely doesn't help. So
yeah,
we got to get it back to the stadium soon, dude. I mean, I
know
Seattle they have this year for the first time since I think 2001. Which what is that? That's 24 years, 23 years. Last time we had it was 08. So I mean, we're getting.
No, I think the next couple years are booked.
I know that, but I'm saying maybe before the end of the decade, we're back in.
Who cares? I mean, 2028
I can talk that way now, bro. I feel like honestly, maybe that's me getting older, dude. I feel like that's reasonable to say no. End of the decade, like that's a reasonable time,
bro.
It's 2023 already, bro.
I can't look at my life like 5 years in advance, dude. Like
I can. I'm gonna be doing the same fucking thing, just watching fucking Yankees baseball, maybe in a nicer apartment.
One more, maybe together. One more
I might
thing.
be married by then. I don't know.
In 5 years?
No, God, fucking no. I'm glad you let me correct myself on that.
Yeah, sure. One last thing I do want to bring up from All-Star Week. Something came out. I think Brett Boone came out and was like, "Oh, I heard rumors that Judge is going to be back shortly after the All-Star break, bro." This is one reason I'm happy. Well, I'm going to be happy once trade deadline season's over, right? Because I'm so tired of just like anybody with a name can come out and say anything. And oh my God, it's news. I can guarantee you any amount of money. Brett Boone has no idea about the injury status of Aaron Judge, and it wouldn't make headlines if his last name wasn't Boone. You know what I mean?
I think anybody who just brings up Aaron Judge right now is a quack and just looking for clicks.
We should start something like that.
Dude, this is where I do have some sort of like superiority feeling is my understanding and grip on these situations.
Yeah.
You should just wait patiently for Aaron Judge to actually return, because everything else involved in speculating with his return is just going to torture you, and it's an absolute waste of time. So you should be able to know Aaron Judge will be back at some point. So I'm just going to wait till that actually happens instead of, bullshitting for clicks and speculating. You're right, Pat. It is all BS. Screw Brett Boone. Which, dude, Brett Boone. The reason I say screw Brett Boone, it's because
why you say it with an accent, Brett Boone?
Brett Boone.
Brett Boone.
Brett Boone. Brett Boone.
Brett Boone.
Anyways, you go back and look. I'm hoping I'm thinking of the right brother, but whoever was in the booth for Boone's walk-off, Aaron Boone's walk-off, the brother, Brett, he's not happy. He just looks miserable.
The brother was in the booth?
Yeah, for Fox or one of the broadcasts, and he was not happy. Go back and look it up. I'm serious.
Which Boone?
I hope it was Brett. I hope it was Aaron's brother.
Brett Boone.
Brett Boone, yeah. I just hope it wasn't another Boone. But I'm serious. Go back and watch it.
I will. I'll go back. Okay, I'll go back and watch
it.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, he looks miserable. And it just sits in my head. I just assume he's just not a nice guy. And this stuff is annoying. Another fun episode today, Pat. How long do you think?
46 minutes.
46 minutes. That'd be sick if we were under 50. I also just want to say a little PSA out there, because I don't want to come off like I'm joking about it. To all the young kids that might watch this, and Christina may appreciate this, don't ever vape. It's not good for you.
Bro, I should have said that at the start.
And it sucks to have to get off of it, and it's my biggest regret in my life. So don't be like me. Well, be like me in a lot of regards, like 98% of what I do. But the 2% that is involved in the vaping, don't ever even start it, because you'll have to quit one day like me and be on cold turkey. But so that's my message to the kiddos. And I don't even think I dropped an F-bomb today. Love you.
You want to know my message to the kids? Can I give one?
Can't be better than that, but yeah.
Stay in school. Stay in school.
What are you trying to say?
Follow your dreams. No, follow your dreams. I think that's number one, because anything in this life is possible.
Right.
Look at us.
Yeah. I mean, you went to school though. I didn't go to school.
I did, but I didn't like. I went to college like for free at like City University. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like.
But still, you still did. Which is
I will say, yo, if you go to college and you don't know like what your end goal is, do not like go and pay like $200,000 and put yourself in debt to go get a liberal arts degree. You know what I mean?
Or
like
any sort of degree. I mean, like if you're, the way I see it is if your parents are paying for it and you don't know what you're going to do, that's fine. It's like, all right, you're not putting yourself in debt to figure your life out. But dude, if you are exactly what you just said, like if you're torn on what you want to do not throw away getting loans, hundreds of thousands of dollars just to fucking
That's the only reason I went, bro. Like,
well, that makes
free,
sense.
like,
Yeah, I mean, I technically went to community college too for a month. You know the story.
Yeah.
Yankees Red Sox game 4, lost that shit. I was out, and the rest is history. And here we are now, sitting on a Zoom with Patrick Hennessy, the Yankees Avenue Show, fresh in its blossom.
Yo, if you would have showed this video to like us from 5 years ago, we'd be so happy.
Dude, a year ago. Ago. I think about how, I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying though. Absolutely. Absolutely. Dude, I think about if I'm ever having a down moment, which is rare, but if I'm ever having a down moment, I think of this show as a reason to bring me back up. It's like, dude, can you imagine like telling my 12-year-old self this is something I get to do twice a week?
We love this show, bro. Like, in case you guys can't already tell, we love everything about this show, and we love that you guys love this show. Like, that makes me love the show more.
We talk about it so much, like all the comments lately and stuff about like what you guys are saying.
It's nice.
Very, like, it feels like we're building a community and all, and I'm all about that. Let's get out of here, yo. Did I mention I'm quitting vaping? Oh, I did say that. I think Gleyber Torres, by the way, is going to have a nice big second half. Thoughts? Dude, we should see Barbie together. Maybe we should do a vlog.
I'd rather not.
Oh, we should make the Dan and Pat vlog channel.
That would be funny, actually.
You know?
That would be good.
Just do funny shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure.
All right, yo. Socials, where can they find you?
TikTok and Twitter at Unhinged Patrick, Instagram at True Hennessy, and follow the Yankees Avenue Show on TikTok.
Yeah, do that. Well, it's just Yankees Avenue on TikTok, pal.
Yeah, Yankee. What'd I say?
You said the Yankees Avenue Show.
No, same shit.
False information.
Still fine.
Dan on Rourke on Instagram. Dan on Rourke on Yankees Avenue on Threads. Yankees Avenue Instagram. Yankees Avenue here on YouTube. All this and that. We will see you guys next time. And use code Yankees Avenue at FOCO for 15% off. Let's go Yankees.
Her body's gone like September. She burns through the night like an ember. And all those things we try forgetting, I remember.